The Departed is a film directed by Martin Scorsese, starring Leonardo DiCaprio, Mark Wahlberg, Matt Damon, and Jack Nicholson. Now, the plot centers around a South Boston cop named Billy Costigan, played by DiCaprio, who goes undercover to infiltrate the organization of crime boss Frank Costello, played by Jack Nicholson. As Billy gains the mobster's trust, a career criminal named Colin Sullivan, played by Matt Damon, infiltrates the police department and reports on its activities to his syndicate bosses. Now, this is actually my third viewing of this film. My initial viewing was about 6 years ago. I understood most of what it was being portrayed on the screen, but not everything. And I found myself, upon reviewing this feature, understanding and grasping a lot more of the connections, a lot more of the language. It was really a renewed experience this time. Some of my favorite aspects of this film: the editing. I think this film has some of the best editing of any of Scorsese's films, including Taxi Driver. Now, I can talk about some of his more recent films like Silence and The Irishman. I already have a review on The Irishman. When I watch this film, I think of Quentin Tarantino. And that's not because Quentin Tarantino is like Scorsese, but it's because he imitates Scorsese. Now, I have seen a lot of movies in my time, and I think this is one of the best paced films that I have ever seen. Now, I'm not just using that as a superlative. I genuinely believe that this is a very excellently paced film. It is the standard by which many other films should be held to in terms of pacing. I would say that this film does something that's very difficult to do, which is it merges several ideas, genres, several tones into one unique picture. And it works. It pays off at every corner. Now, in terms of performances in this film, I would say Jack Nicholson stands out. Matt Damon gives a great performance as a rat.
Knowing you fucking rat.
I thought Martin Sheen actually gave a really good supporting performance in this, and some people might overlook that, but I thought his performance was actually very solid. Sometimes it is easy to overlook more subtle performances over more flashy, showy kind of performances. I thought Martin Sheen actually stood out as an incredible supporting actor. Queenan is actually one of my favorites in this film. I thought his dialogue was well written. Mark Wahlberg's character is great. He plays a really good prick and a really good loudmouth, I would say. One of my main criticisms of the film is not a structural criticism. It's not a narrative story criticism, but rather a moral criticism. Now, Martin Scorsese makes crime films. He makes films about relatively amoral people most of the time. So it stands to reason that his films are bloody, gory, a lot of really nasty stuff. It's not really surprising to see people get double-crossed, shot in the back, shot in the head. Things really do go down in the end, and it's incredibly bloody. I will say, the movie left me feeling a little bit drained morally. He did that with Silence as well. If you want an uplifting movie, if you want a movie to feel good about, don't watch The Departed.
Why don't you just give me a bottle of scotch and a handgun?
But if you want something that's gritty, that's fast-paced, that has a lot of really excellently written dialogue, watch this. Definitely one of my favorite crime movies. I would say up there with Goodfellas and The Godfather. I'm going to give The Departed a 9.2 out of 10 stars. Leave your comments below. Please subscribe, hit the notification bell, and I'll see you next time.
She too cried to cry. She said that I must leave her, and I see tears she froze. How could I melt the heart of a wild